Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Imola as we do have the lights underway for our 100% Enduro race at Imola for Tier 1. Yusuf and Jono wore your front row as we come through 2 and 3 at the moment around turn number 4. It looks to be a fairly clean start. 17 drivers in this race this afternoon. We just managed to get the stream up and running for lights out, and Yusuf leads away the 63 laps. As you can see the position changes. Checkered has moved up a couple. Everybody should be on the medium compound tyre as we'll get everything up running for everybody at home. So you can see your tyre strategies there. It's pretty much a one-stop if you can get the mediums to about lap 28. You can go slightly earlier. Hards can run a long time towards the back half. But the important thing is going to be penalties. As you can see, Cam and Savivanox side by side. And I think that was Cam running wide in the third chicane. As we can see, Yusuf just ahead of Jono. DRS will be activated this lap. Fastest lap, 20.1. or Yusuf, but sit back and relax. We're going to be here for about an hour and a half, as thankfully no one has looked like they've picked up any damage as Jono takes the lead. So we see Yusuf sitting in behind. Finn's in P3, Zox in P4, so the Alpine's looking good. Finn said last week in the podium interviews that he was feeling quite good around here, so proving that 100% at the moment. You got Campbell Adams in P9, Josh in P10, Pro Ultra in 11th, Apollo in 12th, Mighty Wombat in 13th, Mash 14th, Zavivanox 15th, Cam in 16th, Mozza rounding out the grid. Jono coming through to the last couple of corners. We got a yellow flag. That's Cam around. He's had a moment out of the third chicane. Doesn't look like he's hit the wall. Yes, he has actually. Right side end plate is gone off the Ferrari. As Jono gets the fastest lap, he goes to the inside line. I don't imagine he'd be fighting this too hard. Yusuf takes back the race lead. Campbell Adam, fastest lap of the race, as they try and feed their way back through this field. As you got Mash and Wombat. Mash getting the move done on Wombat. Could look for a pass back, but nothing able to be done there. Mash up to 13th as we come towards turn 7 at Tosa. So single file pretty much through this track. One DRS zone down that start finish straight. And the difficult turn 9, that's where you're going to see quite a few people run wide and pick up warnings. Campbell Adams on the hunt. Does he have a sneaky look down the inside? He'll wait. Get a better exit through here. Wasn't too bad. Head back up to the front. I'm feeling John will retake this lead. So starting lap 463. Should be an easy maneuver. A little bit on the grass is the RB. Jono. Nice move. Further back. Campbell. Bit of a lunge down the inside of Saucity. Saucity. Little bit of an escort off the track. So Campbell will have to try again. Try to stick the nose up the inside at 2. Not quite able to do that. Saucity gets onto the grass. He's going to be slightly wide out of 7. Campbell, I don't think will be able to have a bit of a look at turn 9. He won't. As we come down the hill now. And this brilliant piece of track, Acra Milarale. Plenty of pens there in that part of the track as well. As Saucy has actually lost DRS from the group in front and now has picked up the first 3 second of the day And when you're picking up pens on lap 4 of a 63 lap race, you could be in a little bit of trouble. And without DRS, he's going to be in a little bit of trouble, I reckon. Campbell on board should be an easy move. He'll go to the outside. Job done. Easy move. No position changes inside the top 7. So we'll see if Campbell's got the pace, especially in this lap, to just close back. He only needs to find a 10th, and he'll be straight back in. And on the hunt ahead of Checkered. That RB got a little bit loose. The mechanic. Oh, little squeeze. The very minimal of contact, but Checker got away with it. Checkered flag up. Can't quite get the turn 7. Moz has rejoined. Currently at the back. Sorry, Moz, I just saw your chat there. Thankfully, you're back in. Mashing Apollo. Oh, and I think Apollo may have had a little bit of a moment through there. And he picks up a 3-second time penalty to boot. So, warnings coming in thick and fast already. 3 drivers with the penalties as the mechanic. Losing 2 positions. And Checkered flag and Campbell Adams on board. Oh, Zox and Sir Joshi, they've made contact, and Mozart has retired and left the session. Sadly, he's got the spectator glitch, unfortunately. Unlucky for Mozart there. So, going to be yellow flag, no safety car there. So Joshi got the move done up into P4. Campbell Adams from... Where'd he start, actually? He started in 14th. And he's already up into P6 already, only 6 laps in. He's going to have a bit of a harder task trying to get past the guys. Cam picking up a 3-second time penalty. As I thought, it's going to be warning central. We had that many warnings in Tier 2, you couldn't even actually load the race director to try and capture all the warnings. You had to go individual driver to see who picked up what. Lap 7, Jono leads, Yusuf. Easy move. Just see the overspeed the Aston Martin has. Campbell gets past Sox. As Sir Joshi now picks up a 3-second time penalty. Gonna have to keep the penalty window open quite a bit, I reckon. Everybody on the medium tyre. No one's made a pit stop yet. Saucity gets past the mechanic and Josh as well. So I think that's front wing damage on that Red Bull, as the mechanic has retired from the session. So that is wing damage on the left-hand side. Retirement on track, but fair bit of lag, so not sure what happened there. But we're down to 15 drivers. So this has opened up the field a little bit. Saucity just outside, as Josh now picks up a 3-second in the Haas down in 9th. As we see side by side, Jono and Yusuf. And Finns is going to take advantage of it. Finns was close. So that's 2 positions lost for Yusuf. Now we'll see Finns coming into play. And yeah, Broseph, that's a massive share with Meowsy and Websy out. Yusuf, I think he'd be able to win the championship tonight if I'm not mistaken. If he wins, what's the points gap? 32 points for Yusuf. I believe he only needs a 50-point gap to win the championship with only 2 rounds remaining. So Yusuf, we might actually crown our Tier 1 champion tonight. And we've currently got, for the constructors, Williams a 48-point lead over RB. Only one Williams in tonight, that is Mash. So RB in first and seventh could take a whole bunch of points from Williams this evening. As we see the top group, not separated by much, all in single file. However, Josh is going to get past Saucity for P8, and Mash getting past Apollo, who's going to get passed again by Mighty Wombat. So Apollo struggling a little bit here. No wing damage from what I can tell, but already got that 3-second penalty. So you've got three separate groups, and then Savivanox and Cam unfortunately at the back, having a couple issues early on in this race. Be very curious to see how everybody's running fuel-wise. I know a couple of guys yesterday had fuel issues. If we didn't get that safety car midway through, it was checkered flag as a little slide coming up the hill. No massive time lost, as you can see the wall of cars in front of him. Single file. Again, cars will be very heavy with the fuel. You just got to get through this stage onto the set of hards. Undercut can be quite powerful. Then again, a good offset on the hards at the end could bring you back into it. And if you break DRS, as you can see, Campbell now getting past Yusuf. Campbell from 14th on the grid, he's up 11 spots. As you got Mash and Wombat swapping positions. Wombat back up into P11. As Mash and Apollo 12th and 13th respectively. And Tosa. A little bit of a moment for the Alpine at the back, but you can see sort of without DRS from the next group, Josh Saucity Pro Ultra. 3.1 seconds. We've got Cam in the wall. Cam's had a spin. He hasn't boxed, so that's still his front wing damage from what we saw about 5, 6 laps ago. Josh picks up another 3-second penalty. He's up to 6, same as Saucity up with 6, and Savivanox up with 6 as well. So these penalties coming thick and fast. I think you can get close in 100% distance. I think you can get close to, I believe, nearly a minute worth of penalties before the game will disqualify her. So guys, you just got to be a little bit mindful. As we'll follow, again, this top group. Finns wants to have a crack at the lead now. Most certainly will. Will Cam will try and do the double overtake. No, but he does get one of them. As checkered flag gets past Sir Joshi for P5. You got Apollo and Mash now. So, as Mash got onto the grass, he thankfully recovered that. That could have been a lot worse, but he's dropped about half a second. Just got to keep within that 1 second, get the grass and dust off his tyres, but that could have been a lot worse. So he's managed to manage that nicely. And you got Campbell right on the rear of the Alpine. As we come up the hill, little correction of the steering. And I reckon they're just going to sit back and have a crack down the start-finish straight. As Jono behind them. As we see the top 7 in shot. Finns crosses the line. He leads a lap, but he's going to get overtaken. Oh, as Jono moves out, he wants to follow through. Jono gets into second. Campbell takes the lead. Saucity gets past Josh. Apollo gets past Mighty Wombat. So pretty much all your overtakes are happening down the start-finish straight. Had a couple of collisions down that start-finish straight yesterday, so hopefully we avoid that this afternoon. Campbell half second. Apollo picks up another 3-second time penalty. He's up to 6. So, late safety car, and you have no penalties. You can jump a hell of a lot of positions as we got a yellow flag Who was that? That's Apollo out of Tosa. Very easy to do. Be interesting to see if he had contact or if he just got a little bit too excited on the loud pedal. I think he's good. No damage. Unfortunately, he's already 6 seconds pens, so he's going to really struggle to try and keep it clean from here. Still got 50 laps left. So pit stop's still a long way to go. Campbell setting the fastest lap with clear air out in front, 16.9. That will come down later on in the race with a lot of fuel load. As Jono doesn't go for the move, Josh is though, and easily able to clear before anywhere near the braking zone. Back up into P8. Saucy just trying to hang on into to Josh Pro Ultra as well. As you've got, who was that? Oh, that was Apollo coming into the pit lane. Didn't think he had any damage, but he's going to chuck the hards on. He's going to go super long. No chance of being lapped at the moment. So as we make our way down out of the third chicane, so we'll just ease up just a little bit. Cam picks up another 3. I think he's up to 6 now. Yes, he is. So the guys that have got penalties, they've picked up a lot of warnings. As you got Jono retaking the lead. I reckon there'll be a fair few of the guys that haven't got any pens. I reckon they'll be on at least 1 or 2 warnings. Could check the race director, but with this game, I don't really want it to completely stuff the game and crash the game. So a bit of guesswork. So Campbell Finn's chasing down. Again, top 7 well within DRS. This next pack now 5 seconds behind. Not really battling a hell of a lot except for the change of position down the start-finish straight. So just don't quite have the raw pace and are just losing a few tenths each lap. Logan, appreciate that. I'll be waffling a fair bit in this one. One pretty much overtaking spot, and yeah, there's going to be a little bit of waffling shit, I think. As we see Finns, and we're going to make it 3 wide. They do sort themselves out. Campbell holds P1, but Finns gets Jono. Campbell had a little bit of a poor exit, so does Finn want to take a bit of an advantage? As we get to the second chicane, the nose is up in there. Jono just lifted the throttle. Avoided any massive contact. But they sorted themselves out in the end. As I say, I was going to be a little bit quiet. We then go 3 wide into turn 2. So, yeah, I don't know anything. So, Campbell, Finns, Jono, there. That's your top 3 order. Yusuf in P4. He was leading and swapping with Jono in the opening laps. He's just happily sitting in P4 as Jono on board with the RB. Saucy picks up another 3 second. He's up to 9. 2 DNFs at the moment. Mechanic and Moza. As I think Campbell can have a bit of a sniff. He can feel that 1 second. Just couldn't quite break. And as we ride on board with Finns, or actually we'll ride on board with Jono, because I think he's going to try and maybe make the move. Both guys with a bit of DRS coming down to turn number 2. He's got the inside line. They go side by side. Finn still holds it, but all the battling these two are doing could easily allow Campbell to get that 1 second ahead, and it's 1 second now. So Finns and Jono are going to have to push to try and get back in that 1 second, or I feel Campbell is going to go down the road and you won't see him again. Nice battle, but yeah, not quite working out. Campbell absolutely loving this, so Finns, I have a feeling, is going to burn quite a bit of battery just to try and close that 2/10 gap he needs. So could this race have already been won? Or maybe not, because Josh has had a spin at Acqua Minerale. I think it was just a spin, no damage. Looks like he's got both his end plates. But time lost there, and now Campbell, as he comes around the penultimate corner, then the little kink. Cam setting the fast 3-second time penalty. So Finns and Jono, they now have to work together to try and get back within the Red Bull's DRS. Jono takes second place back. And I think Yusuf will now want to just pick up this pace a little bit now. I don't think he would have liked to see the leader get away. Remember Yusuf, I think 32-point lead. He only needs 50 to be crowned champion, and that's only 18 points. So he just needs for easily a top 6-7 position to be crowned said champion. With both Websy and Meowsy not racing this evening. So unless he, only thing he can't do is DNF, and he should be right. I think Chequered Enforce too far behind to make any massive dent. Oh, I saw someone go sideways. That was Chequered. He should still be right with DRS. Yeah, nice save. We sort of caught that in the background. So he'll go again. Close that gap straight back up. So Joshy maybe might think about a look, but I think with everybody having DRS, won't be done. So 1.4 seconds the lead. As Jono's got to go defensive as Finns gets the move done. Around the outside. Problem is that gap's increased by 2/10 just in those corners alone, with them sorting out the positions. Thank you, Meowsy. Yeah, P7. I figured it'd be would have been that bottom half of the 10 somewhere that he just needs. And considering that if we stay green the entire way, this train is pretty much down to P7. So I think he should be right. But the top guys, apart from Sir Joshi, all escaping without pens at the moment. Sir Joshi's just got the 3. However, you can see everybody else further down. 9 seconds for Saucity, Josh, Savivanox 6, Cam and Apollo with 9 apiece. Apollo has made our one and only pit stop in this race as well. Having a bit of a moment about 5-6 laps ago, and has chucked on the hards. I think they may get to the end, but they won't be in the best of conditions. You're probably looking at another 5 to 10 laps for a pit stop as Jono gets ahead of Finns. So I'd imagine at this point, Jono, if you're Jono, Finns, Yusuf, you're probably looking at the undercut now to try and close that gap to Campbell Adams. Even if you don't pass him, at least get that sort of benefit of the undercut as you got Mighty Wombat and Mash swapping positions. Wombat up inside the top 10. His teammate Josh has fallen off a little bit, still hanging on to DRS. Vivanox is nearly 20 seconds behind as Jono has got a... sorry, Jono's left the session. Jono, if you can hear me, I'll try and get you an invite. I don't think I've got you added. So if you want to add me on EA, Scotty793. Jono down to 4th. Pro Ultra with the 3-second time penalty. So I think we'll try and burn him. Jono's backing. That's good. As you've got Chequered getting past his teammate. Jono just needs to stay within DRS, so it'll take him a little bit to load back in. Saucity's now left the session. So I'll try and get them back in as well. Oh, as you got the Mercedes Sir Josh here around the outside of the AI. Just gets it done. Zox as well. And I think Jono may have control of his car. I think he does now. We'll go on board. I think he might be right. Oh, little moment. It was ERS through that corner, so he's definitely got control, but he's nearly 9/10 off. Yeah, definitely you don't want ERS through there. He's going to have to burn to stay within. So he's done just that. But what's that done with the AI car is giving Campbell a 3.5 second lead ahead of Yusuf. Yusuf's now the front of this train. It's interesting to see what he can do pace-wise. Pro Ultra, in the meantime, has made a pit stop on the hard compounder tyres. He's ahead of Cam. Cam with the mediums and the grip and the little bit of wing damage that he does have. I don't think he'll put up too much of a fight. He'll just try and stick behind with the Aston Martin for a bit of DRS if you can. But you've got Wombat and Mash in. So these guys making, I wouldn't say early pit stops. I'd say from probably lap 19-20, you could easily get home on the hards. Recommended pit stop was lap 28, so this is where you're going to see the pit stops. And without a safety car, it is going to be your one and only pit stop that you will be making in this race. As you got the guys just feeding further down. As Apollo has jumped Mighty Wombat and Mash being on those tyres for 8 laps. However, those guys on the fresher tyres will come through. So he hasn't lost too much time. But yeah, we'll see what Apollo can do. Try and hang on. It's about 2.5 seconds behind Cam. Campbell Adams increases his lead by another half second. As Finn's Jono picks up a 3-second time penalty. It's just not as gone the RB driver's way since in the last 5 minutes. Apollo picks up a 3-second penalty. So yeah, ever since he left the session, just not the greatest time of it. He might have been on 2 warnings anyway, and he's just gone that little bit wide. That gives him this penalty. Only just over 1/3 race distance, so still a long way to go in this race for plenty of other guys to pick up penalties. So checkered flag currently in P4, half second off the podium. Campbell's last time was a 18.4. Same as Finn's. Yusuf was a 19.3. That would have been without any DRS. Pro Ultra's time on the new hards was a 17.6, so he was fastest man last time around on the new hards. So in his little battle with Josh, could try and get a bit of undercuts. About 27 seconds under for a green flag pit stop around here, one of the longest of the season. As we see Yusuf and Finn's going side by side. Cam picks up another 3-second penalty. Finn's takes P2. Guys, again, about equal. It was Yusuf that time that was equal with Campbell. So the guy with DRS is quicker with DRS, but the guy that doesn't have DRS is actually about a second off. So that's the difference without it. And Campbell is constantly setting those 18.4s. Oh, Saucy, yeah, I'll try and get you back in. I think I've got you. No, I thought I did. So I completely missed you. No, I don't have you. I thought I did. That's all right. I'll try and quickly scroll down. Apologies for this, guys. I'll try and get back to the action shortly. No, I don't. What I did, add me, Saucy, if you got me. Scotty793 is the EA. Jono picked up another 3-second penalty, did he? No, he didn't. Just the 3. Pro Ultra, I think, might have been the one that picked up the penalty. Cam and Apollo have got 12. And we're only 24 laps in. As you got Jono sending a move down on Fins. Down the inside. Looked to be a little bit of contact. I think they sorted themselves out right. So Josh and Fins now going side by side. So Fins, who was trying to battle for the race lead, is now down back into P6. And with all the swings and changes of position, again, this, except for Campbell, the rest of the top 7 all within DRS. And Saucy is 21 seconds behind in AI. Yeah, sorry about that, Saucy. Mercy, appreciate it. With the Prime sub, thank you very much. As we got a yellow flag, there's been a collision, Josh and Cam. Do we potentially see a safety car? No, we don't. Both aren't sharing, sadly. Oh, as you got Yusuf and Jono in the pit lane. So Joshy and Zox in as well. Maybe thinking about a safety car. But they're coming in. Everybody on the hard compound are tired. They're going to try and do the undercut. So you got Yusuf, Jono, Sir Joshi, and Zox. That's your 4 that coming out in that order. So Fins is outside DRS. You'd imagine Fins will have to come in this lap. Checkered flag will have to come in this lap if they don't want to lose too much time to those guys that have boxed. Campbell's got a 6.5 second lead, so he can afford to delay by a couple of laps and just extend this stint. He's got some time up his sleeve. We'll see what the guys do. Apollo and Wombat. Right, so Rain Knight. Refresh. There you go. So hopefully that invite works for you. So Checkered and Fins is in. So Yusuf going down to the last couple of corners. You got the RB right close in behind of Jono. So it's going to be Jono who gets the position easily. But what about the 2 coming out of pit lane? We do see them there. It's going to be close. It's going to be the RBs. Checkered flag will try and sit in behind his teammate, and he's done just that. Nice work from Checkered, but he's going to have cold hearts to try and get back up to 10. So does Yusuf have a crack in the next couple of corners? Won't be through the chicane, but what about Tosa with the extra grip? He's going to have to just sit back, and by this time, those hards will just get a bit of tyre temp in them, and they should be right. So RB currently 2nd and 3rd. And I believe at this race, they'll be very close, if not overtaking Williams for the Tier 1 Constructors title fight. With 2 rounds left to go. Big points on offer, especially with Mash only down in P11. So Campbell, 31 second lead. He's going to extend as I thought he was. As he can go a couple more laps. A little slide going through 3. We'll keep an eye on the pace. Campbell Adam 16.9 is the fastest lap that he's got. He did an 18.4 last lap. We'll see what Jono and Yusuf can do. As I think Jono might have left his teammate behind. I think no, Checkered just got it. But what about Yusuf? I think he want to get this move past. Checkered, I think, is just going to give him the position. Both with a bit of DRS. Campbell picks up a 3-second time penalty. So Yusuf and Checkered, they're all right if we get a late safety car with Pens, if they can keep it clean. Saucity's in the pits now, but at least back in control of his car. So Jono got that bit of a lead, but not able to break away. So Yusuf now, the car chasing him down. So Joshy Fins is back within DRS. Zox is 1.2 out. If he can find some speed through this middle sector, he'll be able to close back up. Or Finns might be able to just drop back a little bit just to make sure his teammate does get a bit of DRS. Otherwise, you're going to have the second Alpine falling off the back of this pack as Zox picks up a 3-second time penalty, trying to just push to close back in. And the other Alpine, Finns, picks up a 3-second time penalty. You had Cam further back picking up a 3-second time penalty. You've now got Pro Ultra picking up a 3-second time penalty. So you've only got 4 drivers that have yet to pick up a 3-second penalty. And we're not even halfway through this race. Imola bites if you can't keep it on track. Penalties on screen. So Yusuf and Checkered looking good. As Pro Ultra picks up a 10-second speeding in pit lane. He pits and quits from P8. And he had made his stop as well. So that's 0 points for one of the Aston Martins. Shame that. Pro Ultra was actually doing not too bad running in P8, and I don't think he had stopped. Or stopped on the hard softs. Yeah, he stopped once, so disappointing a little bit at that, but also with the pens. So P13 for them. So Campbell's coming across the line now. He's done a 28 laps now, which this is the recommended pit lap. Jono just creeping towards that 1 second, but unable to do it. So last lap, Campbell was an 18.4. Yusuf was, Jono was a 17.2. Yusuf was a 16.9. So there's your times at the moment. So Jono will keep the lead again this lap. 8/10, so probably a little bit too far back, but Yusuf flying on those hard compounded tyres. Yeah, but both Jono and Yusuf were about 1.3 seconds a lap quicker that last lap. Campbell 28.4, and as I said, it's about 26 seconds, I think, a pit stop around here. So he's got that couple of lap undercut. Sorry, a couple of laps offset. So 5 laps on the hard tyre won't be massive. But again, if we stay green to the end, as Finns gets a move on Joshi at turn 9. So Joshi might have had a little bit of a sideways moment off Tosa. That allowed Finns to get the better run, as Campbell is now coming in. So he could see the gap was getting to about 28, 27 seconds. Onto the hard tyres, do they go? So Jono coming around the last couple of corners. No DRS for the RB. Campbell should still be well in front. A couple of laps to get some tyres. Jono sets the fastest lap of 16.5. That's why the Red Bull driver had to come in. It's going to be close, but what this has done, this has allowed Jono to get back within DRS of Campbell. So if Jono can stay there, race lead is most certainly back on. Obviously, the better tyre, a 5-lap younger hards. Campbell could push away. He did that. He saw the mistake, from Jono and Finns fighting earlier. That's why he was able to break in the first stint. So he'll just bide his time. And if he's in the lead and that happens again, he'll break as well. But Finns 0.18 outside DRS. So we might be having a race between the top 4 in a minute. As Finns, Joshi, Zox is falling off. So I didn't get DRS a couple of laps ago, and that time has dropped sadly. Finns is just outside. Him and Joshi have to work together. It's about, he's that close, but I don't think he was there at the detection point. So it should be the McLaren that gets the wing open, but we'll head back up to the front. Checkered flag picks up the fastest lap as you have Jono, for the first time in probably about 20 minutes, retakes the race lead. So Vivanox picks up a 3-second penalty. So still 4 drivers yet to get the black and white flag. And Joshi and Campbell. Yusuf and Checkered your top 4. And Sir Joshi 1.4 out, so I think this is going to be the break that we see. This is guys really push, but Jono coming through the middle part of the lap, looking good at the moment. Saucy picks up a 30-second time penalty. Wannabe, welcome. So lap 32 of 63, we're officially halfway. Jono sets the fastest lap with the bonus 2 points, but Campbell retakes the race lead. We're flying through, 41 minutes into the race. So we're looking at about an hour 20, hour 25 for the race time. So good pace these tier 1 boys are doing at the moment. Joshy's lost another half second off the lead group, so sadly that's going to be them away. They'll need a safety car to sort of bring them back into it. As you got Mighty Wombat, Mash and Apollo continuing their fight that they've had pretty much all race long. And it's going to be for P8. So Wombat 14 seconds off of the Alpine boys up front, or ahead of them. Apollo, obviously he stopped super early. He's just hanging on to the back. Saucity and Cam sort of racing by themselves, unfortunately. Severe Nox and Josh fighting. Josh is on the medium compound of tyres. And Josh gets the job done, so he's up into 13th in the Haas. Campbell setting a fastest lap, 15.4. And he's nearly broken DRS. Actually, Yusuf broken. So I'm not sure if Yusuf's had a moment. But that allows Check It up into 3rd. Finns and Joshy swapping positions. So while we're sort of running through the rest of the field, that top 4 has really stretched its legs. And Campbell wants to break this field. It was 1.3 seconds faster than what Jono was that last lap. Absolutely flying after he got back ahead. Check it. He needs to find 2/10 to get back within that DRS, but Jono's even struggling to get there. So for a close fight, I was sort of hoping for at the front. It's just about to go away. On board with the RB. Not if Campbell does that though. Red Bull picks up another 3-second penalty. They're up to 6. Campbell's got the pace if he can break DRS from those guys behind, which I think he might have done. Maybe a cheeky little warning to make sure he got the gap. So as we breeze down the start-finish straight, it is 6 seconds apiece for Campbell and Jono. Checkered, Flag and Yusuf. And I think Checkered got back inside DRS. No, he didn't. But Jono just didn't have the best last sector. As Apollo picks up a 3-second penalty, you saw Cam pick up. Cam's up to 18 seconds. I think we had 31 seconds yesterday in terms of track limits. You can see the penalties now as you got Wombat and Mash swapping positions as well. Apollo closing up to the Williams, but not getting a move done. And Campbell, yeah, as I thought, Campbell is gone. So, unless there's a safety car, I think Campbell in a good shout to win this race from here. So it's got to be the 2 RBs and the Aston Martin of Yusuf in this fight. And at the moment, it's going to be Checked and Yusuf on the podium as well. Penalty free. And I said, there's a safety car late. Having no penalties will really help. Campbell really pushing the pace though. He just did a 16.4 last lap. If you can see on your screen, it was a 16.8. And both RV boys were a 17.1. So, about 7/10 quicker Campbell is a lap at the moment. as we see this fight and we see the Mighty Wombat fight, and they're coming out of the final corner. Well, this is technically that Kink's officially the final corner, but Mighty Wombat got about half second. Mash stuck in the middle. Won't be getting a move done, so we'll be sitting back. So, oops, RB in P2 and 3. Mash in 9. So I think it's 40 and 32 points, I believe. So I think that's 72 points for RB, and Williams is probably looking at about 12, something like that. So it is going to be a massive swing if the positions stay as they are in the team's championship. And RB, I figured they've sort of had one hand on the overall constructors. And if they can get a 2-3 tonight, it's going to be massive as Checkered Flag gets ahead of Jono. But they're still well within reach of the Tier 1 Constructors Championship. And it'll be another really good year for Checkered Flag, the TP, if he can get some more championships underneath his belt. 2 rounds left to go. As we see, Wombat and Mash, lap 37 of 63. We're getting towards 2/3 distance here in Imola. As Josh picks up a 3-second penalty, up to 12. So everybody from 10th down, double digits in terms of penalties. Still the same for without Wombat, Mash, Checkered and Yusuf. As you got the lap car, as the Vivinox just pulling out of the way of the leaders. And Cam will be the next car, as well as Josh. They will have the blue flags very shortly. So 3.7 second gap, as you got the 2 RBs working nicely. So they're just swapping positions. Yusuf just sitting back, being comfortable. And as I said, he only need a top 4 finish with him this evening will pretty much guarantee him the Tier 1 title. Checkered 64 points back, so Checkered needs to outscore Yusuf by 15 points to keep this battle alive. And at the moment, Checkered is picking up 40 and Yusuf's picking up 28. And Cam's got fastest lap, so yeah, that will be good enough if Checkered still finishes in P2 or Yusuf. And you can see there, yeah, fastest lap, Campbell Adams is half a second clear of anybody else. There's your tyres on screen as well. So pretty much the one stop by everybody. As Jono and Checkered again swap positions. Finn's further 4 seconds behind. He's just getting ahead of the lap Sauber. So Joshy, he's sort of by himself now. Socks as well. Mighty still leading this three-way battle between Mash and Apollo. Apollo making that early stop. Just wondering if those hards are just starting to fall off a little bit now compared to the two in front. Saucity obviously went super long. Part of that, obviously, he left the session. So he's going to have some not too bad tyres with the guys in front, but he's got about 10 seconds to close in. But obviously the penalties are really going to affect his race. So I think the 5 at the back are sort of screwed even with the safety car, because the guys in front don't have anywhere near as many penalties. So 24 laps remaining, and it's a 5-second lead out front as you got checkered flag moving ahead once again of his teammate. Into P2. Yusuf again just sitting back in P4. He's already got net P3 anyway with Jono 6 seconds worth of penalties. So you've got a few clumps of action, but not really anything that that the guys will sort of really fight. And Apollo's dropped outside DRS now, so I think those 27 lap old hards are starting to struggle. And they drop back, so might see Apollo come in maybe for a fastest lap or a fresh set of mediums for like the last 15 laps. See what he can do. As I said, he's big on pins as well. He's got 18 seconds worth of penalties, so make that 21 seconds worth of penalties. Apollo, if you can hear me, you got to keep it on the track. But you'll still be clear. Josh is 30 seconds behind anyway, so at worst, Apollo will probably drop to P11 unless we get a DNF out in front. But everybody got more than one penalty. Who has penalty apart for Fizz, who's in P5. Technically, he'll jump Jono. He moves back over to P2. Technically, he'll jump Jono if he can close that gap by a couple of seconds. So he's got that advantage. And he's clear from behind. Mighty's too far back from the Alpine to capitalise on their penalties. And I think Mash has just dropped DRS as well. So I think Mighty is going to be in a little bit of a battle by himself. So it's pretty much these three now that are closest on track. So thank you everyone for joining us. Got the stream in there last minute, saw the lights go out. And we had a couple of nice little battles. Obviously this is an Enduro and it's a tricky track, Imola. If you do not feel comfortable, as Josh picks up another 3-second penalty, he's up to 15. If you don't feel comfortable around here, there's just a whole bucket of time lost for you. And these top guys flying around this track. RB gonna swap positions again. Safety car would make it interesting. From this point onwards, you'd be able to chuck a set of mediums on and go to the end. And penalties would make it very interesting. Campbell's nearly outside the 6-second window that he needs, and he's got fresher tyres as well. That 5-lap overcut that he did, that gap that he was able to get in the first stint helped him to do that. So it'll be the RB's tyres that will go off first. As Apollo comes into the pits. So I said 20 laps on a medium. He'll do 22 on him. He's going to have to push. I think the new mediums will help him not be lapped, as you got Campbell coming around the final corner. So he'll be right. He'll get pace on those mediums. He'll hope for a safety car to join the rest of the pack. As Campbell comes around corners 2 and 3 now. As Jono retakes second place, as they've got Cam, who's running in P13. He's had a couple of little spins early on. I think he's got his front wing fixed. He did have front wing damage. No, he didn't get that fixed in the pit stop. So he's running with front wing damage. He's about to get lapped too, so he'll get blue flags and have to get out of the way. He won't do it here. He doesn't do it here. He's going to be a little bit slow through this section of track, and Jono won't really like that. I think Cam might get out of the way here, I think. Yes, he will. He'll back off. He'll let all 3 go through, and then he'll just try and stick back. But with that wing damage, he's going to struggle. We'll get some DRS this lap, but that'll be all, I reckon. No, Jono. Sevivanox picking up another 3. Go back to our pens. He's up to 18 seconds along with Cam. Josh has got 15. Polo 21. Change for the for second place. So Polo with 21 seconds. Saucy with 12. Zox with 6. So Joshy with 6. Finn's with 3. Jono with 6. And our race leader has 6 seconds. But at the moment, he's got the 6-second buffer that he needs. And we'll just be managing his pace. He'll be hoping that there's no safety car. And he'll go to the end. From here, we're under 20 laps remaining now in our Imola 100% Enduro. We have 2 rounds left after tonight. And they are Monaco next week. And then we round our season off in Jeddah, 30th of May. So we go very slightly past the F1 25 release date. But I think we might actually have both our champions in Tier 1 potentially crowned. If not, it will just be the Tier 1 constructors that may have to get sorted in that last round. But Monaco and Jeddah. So tricky end to the calendar here at Inters. Jono getting past, Polo picking up his 8th penalty. That's 8 penalties for Apollo. So he's cut the track 24 times for warnings. So he's doing about a warning every 2 laps at the moment, Apollo. Did a great job on comms yesterday, so thankfully he had Mozza beside him. Yeah, these 100% can drag, especially when you've really only got the battle at the front. I say that, you got Wombat and Mash. So Mash has actually joined back up to the back of Wombat and having a nice scrap, these two. These two have been pretty much stuck together the entire race. Mash currently on, it just picks up another 3 seconds. He's up to 18 now. So Mash and Wombat, they've been having nice scrap. And neither of them actually got pens, so they're doing a really good job, actually. So they don't quite have the raw pace, but again, late safety car. They'll be in the box seat, potentially tough for a podium, but potentially a good top 5 finish, depending on how late the safety car is. As you can see, they're on the other side of the track, as you can see, Checken and Jono coming through. And I think you've still got... Oh, you've got Josh getting out of the way, so he's now going to try and see if he can stay with them with a bit of DRS. There's your sort of your rough shot of where everybody is. So I believe that from 12th down is lapped. I think Polo's going to be lapped very shortly. Saucy should be right, I think, if the race sort of stays steady. As we see Mash and Wombat swapping positions again. So Apollo did stop for a new set of mediums, but I still think that Campbell... Oh, as Yusuf picks up a 3-second penalty. As I interrupt my thought. And Cam picks up another one, but Yusuf picks up a 3. So more so, he's still going to be ahead of Jono, but that actually gives Checkered Flag a bit of leeway now. So, important penalty for Yusuf to pick up. He'll be right because he's got no one else near him. That lets Checkered Flag off the hook when this battle comes to the last final laps. Yeah, Oscar was most certainly a demon back in the day. I remember, I think about 3 years ago when I was in the same Tier 2 season as him. Back, I think, in 21, and just the rapid pace that he's sort of grown from there, and he's obviously been top of Tier 1. And I believe, how many championships did he win? How many championships did he win in a row for Tier 1 here at Intus? So, yeah, and Oblivion, I am not surprised with that. Cam was just sort of taking it easy. As I said, I'm keeping an eye on his lap times. He was about 3/10 quicker than Jono that last lap. But, yeah, he's sitting comfortably out front. I think we might need a safety car to make it sort of interesting for him. I think 15 laps left. Check it, and Jono. Well, Yusuf actually might want to get a bit of a move on here, actually. On board with the Aston Martin. Checker will cover. Yusuf won't be able to do anything. Apollo trying to get the max penalties. He's up to 27. So Joshy gets past Finns, who comes in. And he's going to go soft tyre for the last 15 laps. So he wants a bit of a race. So his teammate will pass him. And Mash will be too far behind. Maybe. You can see the shot looking down the start-finish straight. Yeah, plenty of space. Those softs won't take long to heat up. So Finn's dropped down to 7th. So 20 seconds. So he'll try and be about 2 seconds a lap quicker than Sir Joshi and see if he can get back P5. Got to be careful though, because obviously you push. More chances for you to just run that little bit wide and pick up some warnings. But we'll see some quick laps from Finns very shortly. Sadly, it won't be a podium like it was last week in Monza. Sadly, just dropped off the DRS of the top 4. And they've sort of gotten their way down the start. They've gotten their way down the road. Check it. Does he have a crack at his teammate? Yes, he does. Jono doesn't make that too difficult. Slips in behind, and another swap of positions. Yeah, I thought it was 3 in a row as well for Oscar with the championships. It was absolutely dominant. KLX obviously providing a great challenge, just couldn't sort of nab it. And I think KLX, if I'm not mistaken, won the championship once Prince left, I believe. So it's just way too good. And obviously all the OFI stuff since then. But Campbell as well. I know people like Oscar, Gregory, they're sort of transitioning to the new game now. All yellow flag. That's Savivanox, I think, just a spin out of the second chicane. As Mash picks up a 3-second penalty as well. So sad that this little fight now may end up not being to the final lap, unless Wombat picks up a penalty. Mash with 3. Wombat just needs to keep it clean and he'll get that 8th spot. Saucity is actually closing in. That gap only 5.9 seconds. I believe that gap was over 11-12 seconds about 10-15 laps ago. So the young tyres on Saucity is about 6 laps younger. So Saucity might catch up in a chance for P8 on the road, but obviously the 12-second penalties won't really help. As you can see, Yusuf getting right on the rear of the RB. As a gap out front, 11 seconds. So it was a 15.7 for Finns on that previous lap on the soft compounded tyre. Still 3/10 slower than Campbell did on the hards with higher fuel. That's how much speed Campbell's got. I think Campbell Campbell even gave himself a bit of a disadvantage when he qualified, P410, and he's up 13 positions. And I believe he was, I think, leading the race after about lap 10 or 11, so... Flying through. I'll leave it on that. And as I thought, Finn's obviously trying to push to get back the positions that he lost after the second pit stop, picks up his second penalty of the afternoon. That's 6 seconds, so now he's going to actually have to pass his teammate and Sir Joshi instead of just falling in behind. That last lap from his teammate, he was about 2 seconds quicker than Socks in front, and Sir Joshi was about 1.7 slower than Finn, so he's getting that 2 seconds a lap that he needs. But remember, those soft tyres are going to die off a lot quicker. As Apollo, he hits the half-minute mark in terms of penalties, so he's now 30 seconds. If he keeps picking up pens, Josh might actually be in a chance. Obviously, Apollo's got a lot younger medium tyres on. And he's chasing not Saucy. Oh no, he's just going to follow Campbell. So he's been lapped. So Apollo will just try and keep there if he can. What was Apollo's last lap time? A 16.7. So he matched Campbell's time that last lap, and that would have been with some DRS as well. So even with the new mediums, Apollo just hasn't had the pace this afternoon. He qualified in outside the 10, I believe, as we see the RB swapping positions. Yeah, Apollo only qualified P13. And yeah, just hasn't had the pace, unfortunately. Chose to go for the early stop. Worked for a little bit, but then just the age of the tyres dropped off the Mash Wombat battle. Gone for a second pit stop. And yeah, just the penalties have absolutely killed Apollo's race, unfortunately, even if there was to be a safety car. But we've got 12 laps remaining. Only the 3 retirements. Josh picks up another 3 seconds. He's up to 21 alongside Cam. As we see these 3 battling hard. So keep an eye on that, because you got the Alpine boys. They're now close together, so Finn's just caught up to his teammate. And you can just see more grip, and Socks is going to let him go. So going to try and chase down Sir Joshi. 10 laps remaining and 12 seconds. So just needs to do just over a second a lap. Those soft tyres will do it, as Cam picks up 3 seconds. He's up to 24 seconds. As you've got Yusuf going around the outside. So first time in a while we've seen Yusuf get in between the RB boys. And Yusuf, he's going to want to try and get ahead of Jono and see if he can just push this pace a little bit and try and break. If he can just slip outside that 1 second, try and get this 3 second margin on checkered flag. Yusuf would love a podium to seal off the championship win if he finishes in the same spot. He should be right with Jono with 6 seconds. He loves the second spot on the podium. So these 3 stay as they are. You got Mash and Wombat again fighting into turn 2. And it's Mash ahead. He's got to try and break Wombat to stay in that 8th. Saucy's only 3.3 seconds now. He's closed up another couple of seconds since we spotted that a couple of laps ago. Zox has tried to stay with his teammate. He's outside DRS. Saucy, another 3 second. He's up to 15. He'll be safe from the guys behind, but yeah, that pretty much, he was never going to sort of overtake the guys after the penalties got applied. As Yusuf, he overtook one RB the previous lap. He's overtaken the other one. So here we go with Yusuf. Don't think he's got the as much pace as you can see. Jono, all the Aston goes a little bit sideways. But Jono unable to get the move done. Checkered flag, half second behind. Yusuf's just going to try and push this pace, see if he can drop checkered. Maybe get him to see if he can pick up a penalty. But these guys have pretty much been a second this entire second stint. Wombat gets head and mash in the meantime. Campbell is about to start lap 55. So 8 laps remaining. Yeah, that safety car would be absolutely brilliant. And safety car now, 5 laps. I don't see Campbell pulling 6 seconds as Jono passes Yusuf. So takes back second spot, but is effectively 4th after penalties. Checkered is 2nd after penalties. Wombat. He's about 9 seconds away from Zox, but I believe they're on the same tyre wear. Well, actually, Zox has got 3 laps younger hard, so that gap I don't think will be decreasing anytime soon. Finns is 8.7 behind. Last lap, Finns was a 16.2. So Joshy was a 17.6, so 1.4 second gain on the McLaren. As Saucy does a 17.1 last lap, about 0.6 quicker than the 2 in front of him. He's 1.6 seconds behind. He'd love to at least get track position on the guys. We'll be staying 10th after pins. Campbell with 14-second lead out front. We haven't seen much of him. I think he's just chilling and relaxing. True. At least with you, Sam. Obviously, you sort of gave up your seat for the last couple, but you'd love to see RB with the 2nd and 3rd at the moment. Or 2nd and 4th, sorry, as Aviva Knox picks up their 7th penalty. They're up to 21 seconds. So only 2 drivers. No pens, Wombat and Checkered. How are we looking on fuel from the numbers I can see? Doesn't look like anybody's running the risk of being low. I think Apollo will be right. I think with the 100% races, I think you got to get up to close to nearly a minute before you get disqualified. So I think Apollo should be right, not getting disqualified. He's not picked up a penalty for a while, so keeps it 30. He should be all right. At the moment, he can still get P11. He's got about a 7-second window to Josh behind, and he still should be on the freshest mediums. He is 17 lap younger medium tyres. As you got, I think, what was it? Checkered and John, I think, swapping positions before the last couple of corners. Both of them should get DRS on. No. So Jono must have made a little bit of a mistake because he didn't even get DRS. So not sure what happened there. We missed that. So whether there was a bit of a mistake and he just hit the line before he let the 2 cars in front, but thankfully it hasn't cost him that much because he's still in the train, but that could have been bad as Cam picks up another 3-second penalty. He's about 8 seconds behind Josh. Those medium tyres, 31 laps, they must be screaming. So I think Cam will be closing in. What was Cam's last lap time? About 0.6 quicker than Josh in front, but with only 7 laps remaining, I don't think that gap will be enough. Finns is 6 seconds behind. Speaking of Cam, he's just lapped Cam. So Finns 5.8. As you got Mash and Wombat. So both overtaking a lap car, and you're gonna get... No, it was Saucy, sorry. Saucy, double overtake. Oh, it was a lap car. No, it wasn't. It was the Mercedes double overtake. Lovely move up into P8. And Wombat shouldn't be any issues. The Saucy won't be able to get 15 seconds in front of these guys. But he'll claim P8 on the road at least. Jono and Checkered swapping positions. Yusuf currently in P3 as Jono's going to send a lunge down the inside. Gets back into P2. What about Checkered flag? On board. Does he have a look at the run? Oh, he backs out of it. Probably a smart move. So these guys just getting a little bit racy now. 7/10 covering the 3 there. Campbell's nearly got a pit stop ahead. If we had a few more laps, he'd be able to make a second stop and then just obliterate the fastest lap. And I think he's still got that, actually. Yeah, 15.4. It was only about 400 quicker than Finn's, and Finn's did that on a soft tyre compared to Campbell on the hard, so that's how much pace he's got. As you've got Jono and Checkett, and I have a feeling we're starting to see a few DRS games playing here, which is weird considering that they've all got, there's different penalties on each driver, so it doesn't matter which bloody positions these guys cross the line in, they're going to feed back into their positions anyway. Cam picking up another 3 second. He's up to 30. I think Cam just wants the record of having most pens tonight. At least for Battle Cat, at least he'll probably finish, but I don't want to jinx it yet because there is still 5 laps remaining. As Jono takes P2, Yusuf in P3, Checkett in P4, but he'll obviously get bumped up into P2. So it'll be Campbell, Yusuf, Checkett, our podium. Not sure how many of you guys will join us in the comms box. Hopefully we can have a chat to at least one of them. We want to at least have a chat to our drivers champion, as it is. Oh, never mind, Apollo picks up a 3 second penalty. To be fair, he hadn't picked up a penalty in about 10 laps, so I was expecting that very shortly. So he's up to 33 seconds worth of pens. But again, he's still going to be safe. He's 9 seconds clear of Josh behind, who's on old tyres. As who was that? Oh, actually, no, that was Cam. Was that Cam? Oh, Cam's gone miles off. Oh, so I think he was getting out of the way for Sir Josh here, I think. As Yusuf gets past Jono again, giving him a bit of DRS. Oh, that looked to be one of the cars going sideways. Not quite. As we see Jono and Checky get through, so double overtake for the RB boys. So now they're back in second and third. Can they do a bit of DRS hopping to keep Yusuf behind? Again, doesn't really matter unless Yusuf picks up another penalty. I reckon he's probably going to try and keep it as clean as he can. Obviously, shout out to Checkett and shout out to Wombat as well. They're still penalty free. Saucity has nearly cleared it. As you got Finn's boxing again for another set of softs, so he felt like those softs were dropping and wasn't going to catch Sir Joshy, so he's going to have another chance at fastest lap. He's only going to drop the 1 position, even if these guys overtake. Oh, no, it's not. He's got 4 cars past him, so he's actually going to find some track to actually be able to set that fastest lap. He's going to be rapid. Problem is, he's now just then got to catch all these guys as Cam picks up his 11th penalty. So Finn's down in 10th, and he's got 6 seconds worth of penalties. So he's actually going to drop multiple positions. So he's going to lose more points trying to get that fastest lap. As Sir Vivanox gets out of the way. So he's down in 14th and last of the runners, and he picks up another penalty. So that's 9. So even with the great pace he'll have, he can kiss that P7 goodbye. Or actually, maybe not. He'll get 7th, but he's not getting the 9th back. Sam, if I was you, I'd probably be glad that your GPU sort of broke in one way that you wouldn't have to play this game anymore at this state. I know I've only got a couple more league races myself before I can delete this game. Enters is going to be the only league that I'll have left after tonight. I've got 1 more race at Wallaby, and then I'll have the final 2 races here, and then I can delete this game and pray and hope that F125 is at least decently better than what we've experienced the last year. Hopefully, fingers crossed. We'll head back up to our leaders because Campbell has got 1.5, just under 2 laps to go before he hits the checkered flag. Being a checkered flag, he is P3. Both with DRS with Yusuf. Finns gets past Saucity. Now we'll see if Finns can actually get some clean air and actually set that fastest lap as the 2 RBs, 2nd and 3rd. Jono, if he didn't have the 6 seconds worth of penalties, that'd be a great P2 for checkered flag. But Yusuf currently in P4. As it stands with a lap and a half remaining, he will be crowned your Tier 1 Drivers' Champion for into Season 8. As Campbell picks up another 3-second penalty, but it won't matter. He's well clear. He can cut one of the chicanes and picks up a 10-second penalty, and he'll be right. As we do see Finn's picking up the fastest lap, 14.6. Unless someone else comes in for a pit stop, that time won't be beaten whatsoever. Problem is he will be losing out at the moment to Mash and Wombat unless he has a brilliant final couple of laps. Campbell, where's he? So he's coming around the first chicane now. So I think it's the 11th down that are lapped. Mighty won't be in any trouble being lapped. So top 10 on the lead lap that we're finishing. Campbell flying ahead. Last time we'll see DRS for these three. And at the moment it's going to be Checkered, Jono and Yusuf. And it's going to be Checkered. He'll stay in P2. Yusuf will jump Jono unless he picks up a silly 3-second penalty, which he shouldn't have to. Saucy picks up 18 seconds now worth of penalties. Well, we'll switch over to Campbell. I don't think the two RBs will really do anything ridiculous in the last couple of laps, but Campbell started 14th, got to the lead of the pack. He was able to break early. I think he had about a 6-second lead when the guys behind stopped. He was able to overcut them by about 5 laps, and then absolutely dominating in the second stint. Campbell Adams is your Imola 100% race winner. Fantastic effort. He was sitting comfortable. I reckon he could have gone even quicker, but it needed to push as Jono takes the inside. Again, it's going to be side by side between the two RBs as long as no one gets pushed off, but it's going to be RB second and fourth, but it's going to be Yusuf will be crowned your Tier 1 Inters champion. Without Websy, without Meowsy, he only had to pick up 32 points. He had 32 points. He only had to pick up 19 or so, and he's done just that. Yusuf, very well done. He gets crowned champion. I believe RB will be very close, if not overtaking Williams for the Tier 1 Constructors. I think they'll have a small lead. As who is slow? I think that might have been Finn's. Won't be another faster lap, but he'll finish in P7, but he'll drop back. Saucy will as well. So good pace from Mash. He goes into P7. Wombat will jump him though. He kept it penalty free alongside Checkered Flag. Nice race from Wombat. And that is all you guys across the line. So Wombat P7. I have a feeling Campbell will be your driver of the day. Well deserved. 18 seconds was the lead at the end. As we have a look at our podium, fair effort for Campbell Adams. Checkered Flag, another really good race from him. And then our Tier 1 champion, Yusuf, finishes on the podium. And what a great season he's had. Websy's obviously missed the last... Websy unfortunately missing the last couple. Meowsy missing today, and with double points on offer tonight. Yusuf capitalised, picked up 36 points, and it was enough to crown him champion. So we'll have a look at our provisional results. And it is Campbell Adams ahead of Checkered Flag, ahead of Yusuf, your top 3. Jono in P4 looked good. Unfortunately, the penalties hurt him in the end. So Josh in 5th, Zox in 6th, Wombat in 7th without penalties. Shout out to him as well. Mash in 8th, Fins in 9th, Saucy in 10th, Apollo 11th, Josh, Cam, Severe Knox, our finishers. And then we had Pro Ultra in 15th, the Mechanic in 16th, and Mozza 17th, your 3 DNFers. So, great racing. But yeah, Campbell absolutely flying. So we'll see if we can have a chat to a couple of these guys. We'll switch to that screen that I want. So it's been a great Imola Enduro round. A bit of controversy. I know there's a few stewards inquiries, not necessarily for Tier 1. It was fairly clean Tier 1 tonight, so shout out to the boys. But yeah, Tier 2 and 3 were a little bit more messy, but great racing all weekend long. And then obviously we got Monaco next week, which should be absolutely fascinating in terms of how we go there. As we'll try and get the top 3 in. But yeah, great racing. Get the provisional results up on screen very shortly. So you can see our top 3 Campbell Adams race time just over an hour 20. I had a guess earlier on that's what it would be. No safety cars as well, so shout out to the guys. But checkered flag was 14 seconds off, and that was with Campbell Adams 9 seconds worth of penalties, and then Yusuf, our champion, was 17 seconds off the race lead. But that is your top 3. We'll try and get these boys an invite. Yeah, I reckon a few guys probably just saying it's a little bit boring. I know a lot of the guys were sort of racing on their own, sadly. Campbell, checkered, and Yusuf. We'll see if any of them join. But as I said before, yeah, Yusuf is your champion. For this season, for Tier 1, as I said, the constructors is very much in play. I think RB being 2nd and 4th with double points in Tier 1, they've got a stranglehold on the overall, so I don't think they won that quite yet, but they'd be surely very, very close to winning it. So we'll give these guys a couple of minutes to see if they join. If not, we can end the stream. I do want to get the Yusuf graphic up if I can. For being the drivers' champion. There you go. Tier 1 drivers champion for Yusuf. Just cover that because that's not quite the proper wins and points. But yeah, Yusuf, shout out to him. Another podium. And yeah, it was the drivers champion. So absolutely fantastic all season long for Yusuf. Excellent drive tonight as well, P3. And yeah, fantastic effort. So we might not get any of the boys in. So I think we'll wrap it up. Guys, thank you very much for joining us this evening. As actually, no, in saying that, I think Checkered's saying that they might have actually won the season 8 overalls. Obviously, provisional results at the moment. He's thinking with the Checkered's thinking RB are champions. Obviously, we'll get back to you, and obviously, we'll have the announcement in the Discord if they have won. We'll wait for the Battle Cats results, but if Checkered has won it, that's a fair effort for him to win the overall second season in a row with RB. And a shout out to all he's done with the work. Obviously, there's been some questions on the drivers, but he's picking up the drivers in the pots that no one else are able to sort of, whether they don't recognise the names or whatnot. But he's getting the drivers in, he's getting the points. So the effort he's putting in the background, hell of an effort from him. So as I said, no one can sort of take that away from him. So. Shout out, check it if that is true, but I think it was going to be very close to winning it, if not tonight. So I think we won't have the top 3, so we will wrap this up. So we'll quickly have a look at our provisional results. And it was Campbell Adams over Checkett and Yusuf. Plenty of penalties there. Fast lap did go to Finns on a 14.627. He gets the 2 bonus points for today. And then driver of the day, Campbell. Yeah, pretty much dominant once he got the lead up 13 positions. So, yeah, great effort from Campbell Adams. So, guys, thank you very much for joining us. We'll catch you Friday night for Tier 3 action around Monte Carlo. Going to be a hell of a race. Plenty of drivers potentially in the wall. Even though it's sort of a... Don't see a lot of overtaking there. It's definitely action packed. So... can't wait to see you guys Friday night, 8 o'clock Australian Eastern Standard Time for the action there. So, I've been Scotty. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you for the round of Monaco next weekend.